Russia on high alert. U.S. deploys Sikorsky CH-53K Helicopters to Ukrainian border. Russia has recently increased its military readiness along its border with Ukraine in response to intelligence reports and military movements from Western countries. The decision to raise the alert status is not a spontaneous action, but rather a reaction to increasing strategic pressure throughout the conflict in Ukraine. The intensity of the conflict, which has been going on for months, has prompted Moscow to continuously monitor all military activities of Ukraine's opponents and allies who support them. Amidst this heated situation, the United States is reportedly deploying Sikorsky CH-53K King Stallion heavy lift helicopters to the Ukrainian border. These helicopters have a large carrying capacity and operational capabilities in difficult terrain, making them a strategic tool in supporting rapid military logistics and mobility. The presence of the CH-53K near the front lines indicates that the U.S. sees the potential for a serious escalation and wants to ensure it is ready to respond if necessary. This move by the U.S. has, of course, attracted considerable attention from Russia. In Moscow's view, the deployment of these helicopters could be considered a provocative act or part of efforts to prepare intensive logistical support for Ukrainian forces. Russia is predicted to respond by increasing air patrols, deploying additional air defense systems, and strengthening its military posture in areas near the border. The Sikorsky CH-53K King Stallion itself is a modern version of the CH-53 transport helicopter family. The K version has improved engines, carrying capacity, and avionics systems compared to previous generations. With these characteristics, this helicopter is capable of carrying large loads, operating in bad weather or challenging terrain, and has a range that is sufficient to support cross-regional military operations. The deployment of such helicopters is usually carried out in the context of logistical support, troop delivery, or even evacuation in the event of an emergency. However, in the context of the Ukraine conflict, the meaning goes further. The presence of heavy U.S. helicopters on the front lines can be seen as a strong signal of the U.S.'s commitment to maintaining its military support for Ukraine. Russia, on the other hand, has a number of long-proven air defense and radar systems. When high alert status is imposed, Moscow is able to accelerate the deployment of defense systems, such as the S-400 or mobile radar systems, in border areas. This move is aimed at preventing unexpected maneuvers and protecting Russian airspace from violations. In recent weeks, Russia has issued stern warnings against the delivery of long-range weapons or large-scale military support from the U.S. and NATO countries to Ukraine. These warnings are often accompanied by claims that Russia will consider such actions as direct escalation and will respond accordingly. some analysts believe that Russia wants to assert its red line boundaries for foreign military intervention in the conflict zone. The U.S. decision to deploy CH-53Ks near the border is inseparable from the dynamic developments in the Ukraine war. In recent months, Ukraine has continued to receive weapons and aid from Western countries, including defense systems, drones, and surveillance equipment, which has made Russia concerned about a shift in the balance of power on the front lines. Furthermore, the deployment of heavy helicopters also has strategic implications. If the conflict widens or escalates into a high-intensity war, air logistics routes will become very important. Helicopters, such as the CH-53K, enable rapid logistical supply, rapid mobilization of reserve units, and flexibility in responding to unexpected shocks. Russia's response in this situation could include increased border patrols with fighter jets, the use of surveillance drones, and maritime patrols in border waters if relevant. Russia may also reinforce its mechanized and artillery forces in areas considered vulnerable to sudden attacks or infiltration. Many international observers have warned that the situation could easily spiral out of control. Tensions between Russia and the U.S. on the Ukrainian border could trigger air incidents, such as interceptions, helicopter expulsions, or military confrontations. If one side misinterprets the other's maneuvers, rapid escalation could occur. Military leaders in Eastern European countries are also watching closely, as a widening conflict could have direct implications for Ukraine's neighbors. These countries are already on high alert, given the risk of unwanted missile strikes, drones, or unauthorized flyovers. On the diplomatic front, there is likely to be a wave of official protests between Moscow and Washington. Russia could recall its ambassador to the U.S. or issue a strong condemnation at international forums, such as the UN or the Security Council.